What's up, it's Joe with OCDetailing, and behind me I have a Grand Touring Lucid Air. This is one of those videos where I look at the car and I show you everything wrong with it. And the reason I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff wrong with it is because it had what I would consider a less than adequate paint protection film install. The car was damaged. Like there's a lot of razor blade marks and stuff on it. And I'm not going to throw the shop under the bus, but nothing drives me more nuts or bothers me more than when somebody says something. Like other shops will claim they do level of work that's on par with ours or some of the other good shops, and they will tell a customer this and they will promise them the world, and then they get in over their head and they don't have the cojones to just say, hey, honestly, I actually could not perform at this level, I should stop what I'm doing. Instead, they just follow through and then they damage the car in a bunch of places. Lucids are actually pretty difficult to work with. We've done a bunch of them. We have a ton of experience on them. And we've even had some setbacks on them here and there. But we were always very honest with our customers and we were very upfront and we made it right, because we always do. We never leave anybody hanging on anything. So when this car came in, the customer brought it in because he wanted me to take a look at it and ask what I thought about the install and how it would compare to something we would do here. At first glance, from 10 feet away, I was like, oh, it's great. But then looking a little bit closer, I started to see a lot of installation errors with the film, right? So there was stuff that was really wonkily cut. And then I looked a little past that. I would lift up the edge of the film where it was cut in a few places, and I could see blade marks in the paint. And then I came around to the back of the car. I noticed the logo was off, like it wasn't where it was supposed to be. And then I realized that it looked a little bit different, and the customer pointed out to me that the shop who did this called him and said, hey, we're having a bunch of trouble wrapping this piece, so we're not sure what we're gonna do here. We may not be able to get this done in clear. And I can actually respect that because I understand how hard that is to do. It's a really hard curve, it bends in really far. I get it. But what they left out, what they failed to tell the customer was say, hey, removing this badge, we damaged your car in the paint. And I'm gonna pull that film off for you because I can see it through the film they put on there, because what they did was they took a dyed film, like a gloss black film, and they wrapped that piece in gloss black so you could no longer see the damage, and they did not inform the customer. So that makes me really, really upset. So here, let's take a look at some of the initial installs errors, and then we'll pull off the black piece and see exactly what happened to the car. So at first glance, it's shiny, it looks okay, but then you start looking a little bit closer, and you see stuff like this. So this line all the way across here, it's kind of wonky, and there's a rubber gasket right here that's been cut in quite a few places. You know, when we do these, we actually take this off so that we can wrap underneath it and then put it back down. You know, it's cleaner install that way. If you keep going around the car, we'll make our way all the way around. Here's the damaged piece, actually, so you can see the badge here. Is actually the Lucid badge from the factory. This sits a lot closer to this. It sits on top of here. So when I look right here, I can see what appeared to be sanding marks. So my guess is they damaged the paint pulling this off, and you would have seen it through clear film. Instead of owning that and just saying, hey, Mr. Customer, I damaged your car, we need to take it to Lucid to get it fixed, they just wrapped it with a colored film and called it a day, which is pretty messed up. Like, I mean, they should be honest and, you know, give the customer the option, you know, to whether he wants it fixed or he wants to take it somewhere himself if they don't know where to get it fixed. Now, right here, so when we do this bumper, we actually wrap all the way up to here. You can't see the line at all, but they have a line that goes all the way right here, right? They stopped right there, and I lifted this up over here, and there's a blade mark there. So there's actually a razor cut right here. And then you can see this is cut wildly short right here on both sides, with a very wavy line. So it's one thing, they told the customer they were gonna do a custom install exactly like we would. Well, we would have wrapped this over even on this 1/16 of an inch. You wouldn't have been able to see it. But here's the thing is they were doing this custom, but they had to cut right on the paint all the way across it. It's so risky. Like when we make our cuts, we would do it on either side of this, so we're not actually cutting on the paint. So when you see stuff like this, if I were to pick this film up, just judging by the rest of the work on the car, I'm guessing there would be hardcore razor marks here too. You know, coming around up here. So same thing, These are not templates. They line these up and then they cut these all the way across here, same thing here. It's funny, whoever did the driver's side of the car was a better installer than whoever did the passenger side of the car. But there's still, you know, like this line right here on this silver piece that is very wonkily cut. It's gonna show dirt as soon as the car gets dirty. Like you can see it right now, the car's a little bit dirty and you can see that line. It only gets worse over time. And then on the inside of this, there's actually a big razor mark that goes all the way right here. The other thing that was a little bit concerning to me was, you know, the way that this was cut right here. So, like, look, this is my nail going along the line where the PPF is cut. It's like that they had to have done this by hand because it's not straight. Usually templates are really straight because a plotter cuts them. So you line them up, you tack it, pull it down, work your way down from there so you don't distort that line. So with that happening, you know, just looking at the other razor cuts on the car makes me think there's probably more razor cuts on the car. And then over here, they cut this really short. Like, you know, they cut all these edges really short. We wrap all this stuff in. This was cut all by hand around this thing, which if we pick the film up, we probably know what we're gonna see. Lucid service highly, they don't suggest, they tell you that you should not cover the sensors on one of these cars with PPF, so they didn't cut out the sensors, which probably a good thing, because judging by their knife skills, you probably don't want them cutting circles. Same thing up here, this is cut really short and not wrapped in, and the film lifted. Now, when he was here showing me this, I opened this hood and I took a look at these pieces because they were broken and sitting really far in. So these I actually clipped these back in the way they go, but they're still a little bit off. So I'm gonna take these off and retape them and put them back the way they should be. And then on the hood, this hood is a really hard stretch. The installers actually got this hood down in one piece, but there's a bunch of distortion lines in it, which show up really bad in black. So there's this big line right here. And then over here, same thing. Along this ridge, they distorted the adhesive and it pulled flat. They also razored this all the way along here. They cut this all the way along here, which again, just judging by the rest of the car, I'm guessing there's knife marks. Something that was kind of weird. They told the customer they were doing a full wrap, but they didn't wrap like any of the small pieces on the car. They wrapped the hood, they wrapped this, and going on what my customer told me, they said they were going to wrap everything. So when we were to do a Lucid, we wrap everything. We wrap these pieces, this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, the black pieces, these, and then all the big painted stuff too, along with like this piece, these pieces, the black piece on the back bumper, the black pieces on the mirror, pillars. So none of that stuff's wrapped. They basically only wrapped the painted sections. They didn't wrap this, which is a magnet for rock chips and swirls. They didn't wrap the light on the back. Also, just this one mirror had a piece of film that went across here, and there was a razor line right there, but they didn't do it to the other side, so I don't know what's up with that. And you can see, like, it's really easy actually to wrap these door handles and wrap them over. And they did this by hand, so a little bit sketchy. When we pull this off, what we'll see, you can see right here, instead of properly installing film and heating it up so it stays down, they just cut it. Yeah, so right here, I'll make the noise again. Now, they were supposed to tint the car too. They gave up after they got the back window in. They said they couldn't do the side windows on the car. And I will say this, Lucid window tint, by far and away one of the hardest cars I've ever done. But, I mean, I would have to clean this off so you can see it, but there's tons of debris in that back window. It's like, there's a whole colony living back there. My tenders over there hearing me talk about the Lucid, they're like, it's hard. We feel bad for the tender. No wonders he didn't do the doors. Can we say that? No. Yeah. But they are hard to do, but it can be done, right? Like, it's like, so at least they tapped out right there. But I imagine the shop owners that did this were traumatized over this and just wanted this car out of their shop. So let me get a heat gun. We'll pull this off and see what damage is here. So what this is is a dyed black film. Oh! Savage.
Oh my god, that looks so bad. Bro.
So.
Bro, dude, that's so bad. That's so bad. Oh my god.
Not like this though.
Not like this, holy moly.
Yeah, so one time what happened to us, one of my guys here was pulling this off, this badge, and when they lifted it up, it dug into the paint and then it lifted a chunk of paint off of this. So I immediately set up with what I would consider the best body shop in the area and a Lucid certified repair shop, a repair for it, called the customer, immediately let them know and got their car fixed instead of just wrapping it with colored PPF to hide it and sanding and damaging someone's car. Yeah, that sucks. Well, I gotta make a phone call to this customer now. You get the idea. We're gonna fix this thing all up and go through it and clean up what we can of the film that's already there. Also, check for any other damages because the customer requested we do it. Wrap all the stuff that's not wrapped. Salvage any of the film that we can salvage and get this thing back to him. I'm sorry I sound sad when I look at this. I just feel bad for the customer. He's such a nice guy. And I kind of knew, I even said it when I saw this. I was like, they probably damaged your car and didn't tell you.
Oh, you told them that?
Yeah. I kind of, when I saw it, I was like, why else would they do this? What would be the because he said they told him they were having some trouble with felt getting stuff into the clear film, so they used the black film.
Clearly it was this.
Yeah, but that's a lie, right? Because there's nothing felt here. Like, in my head, I was like, were they talking about the window tint? Like, because the felt liner in the window tint does that, but this does not. But, yeah. Okay. We will give you a follow-up when this is all done, but thanks for watching. I'm Joe with OCDetailing. Please subscribe for more videos. Or go check out one of our Lucid Wrap videos to see what they look like. Damn, let me tell him. Here, I'll text it to him. Me texting the customer.
I know. I'm getting the whole process.
You getting the whole process?
You see it? That looks bad, huh?
And it's awful.
That looks bad, huh?
Yeah. I'm always so scared to break stuff. And that's